girl, LaDonna Raeh, and we are doing the Monday recap or the weekend recap. Welcome to the show on the LaDonna Raeh Show. I am here in the raw. I didn't bother putting on an eyebrow, lash. Well, I don't wear the lashes, but I didn't do any of that, okay? I can barely see this morning. You ever woke up and everything's blurry? Yeah, that's when you get nervous and realize how old you're really turning. So last week we had quite the lineup. It was really exciting for me, our guests, and all of you, hopefully. But there are some things that I just didn't know took place. For instance, I was interviewing Andy Williams Jr., and he's running for president. We had a caller that called in live at our 312-357-5141 number, and he kept saying, "Here in these prison walls." And he said his name was Brother Hess. I thought he was just, speaking from past tense. And no, he was speaking from the prison walls. And the reason why I figured it out is because later I got a friend request on Facebook. And I said, Brother Hess, friend request. Okay. And I went ahead and read the message that came with it. He was like, "I want to come on your show and talk." And I was like, wow. And so we spoke on the phone and he gave me his story. And it was about how human trafficking is related to the school to prison pipeline. At first, I didn't know. I'm like, how are these two related? Well, they are related. He was very much on point. How if the school system doesn't step in when the parents cannot, that they just pass or let these situations go right under their nose or noses, and then these individuals kind of go into the prison pipeline, and everybody's like, when they could have stepped in and did a home assessment, visit, whatever it takes to find out what's really going on at home. Why we didn't know that little Jermaine's mother was on drugs. And then somebody can step in, maybe a aunt or a grandmother or a cousin, if the proper authorities got involved. So unfortunately, there's been many cases like that. And when you go into a life of crime, it could be an introduction from an adult that says, "Hey, little boy, hey, little girl, I can give you what your mama can't give you and more." And your eyes light up because you want more, but you just don't know how to get it. And you will do whatever. I'm not saying you or I'm just saying that child, that vulnerable child, is kind of subjected to obliging to the request of that adult, thinking that they're taking care of them when they're really exploiting them and trafficking them. So I see the correlation now. I see the relationship now that we had that conversation. So go on and take a look at the interview. It says, Brother Hess in prison on the LaDonna Raeh Show on YouTube, and you'll be able to check it out. And he didn't hold back. Well, I didn't either. So that's just the way it went. Everybody's talking about Katt Williams, but before Katt Williams, everybody was talking about Taraji. Okay, Taraji P. Henson went public with the unfair treatment and payment of these mainstream films, where she is getting a fraction of what is being paid. And then after the government takes a portion of that, she is left with nothing, just about. Now we're looking at Taraji and thinking she's living it up like Cookie. Cookie was living a better life than Taraji. She was playing a character that was doing better than she's actually doing in real life. Why is it that we don't see or speak up about these things? This has been happening for eons. This has been happening, and Taraji and many others have just been taking it because the name and the fame, we always feel like that's going to turn the corner for us, and it never does. We're always stuck right here where we're not getting that pay that another mainstream A-list actress that is not Black would get. We do most the more of the work. We bring in the Black community as well as the other communities. They just love you, right? but you get less pay every time, like every time. So, what do we do? Had we known this before The Color Purple came out, would you go see it? Would you have gone to see it? I haven't gone to see it. I'm on the fence. I kind of don't want to support it. I understand the storyline. I saw the original one. I read the book, but knowing this now, I'm just not excited to pay my full price ticket to get my girl Taraji because me and her we cool. No, I'm not going. And sometimes, it's pay does not define you, but it certainly can help you help others. Now you're limited still, even in film too. We're already not getting, equal pay in the work world. Now this too, this is work too. Quite a few actors had something to say about the pay they were receiving from Friday, Ice Cube's Friday. Now, that was drawn from the Katt Williams interview with Shay Shay. Okay. I watched the whole thing twice, actually 2.5 times. I fell asleep the first time. I was just tired. But the second time I watched it, I was all into it. The third time I watched it, I was watching it with my dad. My dad said, I ain't thinking about no Katt Williams. I said the same thing. Now I want to marry the man. He is a man of integrity. I had no idea. So, along with Taraji, shout out to Taraji and Rihanna Rihanna has not really come forward a lot on her social media because she's been raising her kids with ASAP. Um, but she stood up for Taraji. She said, good for you. Don't give up. Don't quit. Good for you, Rihanna, for sticking up for Taraji. Now make her one of your models or your spokespersons on your makeup line. Come on, girl. Come on. That's how you do it. Give it up. Turn it loose, right? Because she got them high eyebrows. I love them. I was trying to get mine done like that, but it just didn't work out. But yeah, watching the Katt Williams on Club Shay Shay it wasn't like to watch for the tea. There was a lot of tea being spilled. Oh, yes. However, he gave it to us straight. He talked about how people come on these microphones and lie. I know you've seen it. We don't have to do the recap, but I want to go through what it made me feel. Like, how was I feeling watching this? It wasn't like, oh, those dirty so-and-sos. It made me think about when I was trying to break into the music industry and I felt some kind of way when I was constantly being approached for favors. And those favors came not direct with the exchange of, a contract or a placement on a song or I'm going to make you a star. It was like, I got the ones where just to be in the studio working with a producer, I won't say his name, that if I were to be down with the cause, if you know what I mean, then I could, who knows where I would be. And as tempting as it was, because as badly as I wanted to be in music and I wanted to sing, I'm not going to say it didn't feel right. I was afraid that once I do this, it would be expected of me from everyone in the industry. That's what crossed my mind. Plus, I was already a mother. I did not feel marketable. I already had stretch marks. That child wore me out. I was like, well, nobody told me about rubbing the belly. They were so mad at me, they didn't even give me the tips for the mother. But oh well, that's something I have to live with. And I was just afraid that would be my reputation. But looking back on listening to how these expectations took place in the music industry, in the film industry with Diddy and all these other names that have been implicated. I'm like, man, I don't feel like I dodged a bullet. I feel like, man, somebody should have said something then. Why do we wait 30 years? This was 30 years ago. For me, I know it's been going on before that, but Was it just an expectation in Hollywood? Like we're bringing up Harvey Weinstein, and he's offering to do things to black men and emasculate them. Like this sounds so much like slavery to me. You know, they would break our men in front of us, then they would feel some kind of way. They don't feel like a man anymore. So now they're mistreating women. So all of this stuff that I've been seeing, this is why. Katt was like, I ain't going. He took a chance on his first movie and said, look, I know you got a rape scene up in this movie, and I have no clout, no pull, but it's nothing funny about rape. But it would be even funnier if there was no rape. If you're trying to make a classic. Oh, really? They wanted a rape scene in Friday? And looking back, you like, that's what that was. That's what that was supposed to be. There's nothing funny about that. I just interviewed Brother Hess that talked about rape, molestation, inappropriate touching, violation of children, men, women also, but really? And you want to put that in a humorous movie, in a comedy. There's nothing funny about that. That would have taken a turn. Like I would have walked out probably. Or I would have stayed to watch it. Who knows? But it just wouldn't have been a good taste in my mouth. You know, we're still trying to recover from that scene, and what's love got to do with it when her husband raped her? Okay? So I have a unexpected respect for Katt Williams right now. I always thought he was a buffoonery type, you know, pimp type, slick back, that's what I thought of him. That's what I allowed myself to be presented with. But seeing him on Club Shay Shay, shout out to Shannon for Shannon Sharp for really bringing this out, because Shannon Sharp waited a year. He asked Katt Williams to come on the show a year prior. Like the whole year went by, and then Katt was like, his people said, let's do it. Shannon was like, clear everything. We don't know when this is going to happen. It could be a Monday, a Tuesday, clear everything. He did the same thing for Chris Brown. And so when Katt finally came on there, it was the tail end of 2023, and we're seeing it, and we're still talking about it. And it's definitely worth talking about, because he really brought some awareness to something that has been going on forever, and how the black man is being targeted, and how the black man is expected to act in Hollywood. You can't walk around as a man around here. If you want this contract or this part or this role, you gonna let me suck you off, or you gonna do the same. Because once I do you, it's only right that you do me. So they thought. Katt was like, no, man. And he looks at the other guys and like, whoa, what was their answers? And then you swear to secrecy. The part that got to me, actually a couple of parts got to me, was you would think that comics would stick together because of what it takes. Like I took a stab at stand-up comedy, and I'm still gonna go for it. I like what he said about how he knew that white crowds laughed more at him than black crowds. Like because I don't cuss on stage and I don't talk about sucking this and doing that, I wouldn't do well in a black crowd. Not the age group, maybe at a retirement home or bar mitzvah. Well, we don't do bar mitzvahs, but a kid's birthday party, a Christian comedy, I would do well there. But I cannot do well when people are expecting you to talk about the other stuff, right? So I won't do well there because I'm not going to do it. I cuss in person, but I'm not going to cuss on the mic. With that being said, he said he knew who his crowd was and he kept going. And he said he created a range. This brother is so right. Also, his net worth is off. It says he's worth $2 million. And Katt was like, I carry that in my pocket. I got that on me. So people will try to minimize your ish if you don't go along with the program. Now, I'm not going to be on here too long because I'll give you about 5 more minutes of this. There are so many opportunities out there that are going to be presented to our children. And if the parent turns a blind eye, then they will have their way with your children. I mean, you please don't look at it as, well, it's only one time, because it's not. Once it's done, it's done. Okay, that one time is all it takes. R. Kelly is behind bars for some things I feel like you're going to hate me for this. I just feel like he shouldn't be there. Okay, during the time that he was rolling around in his Jeep and all of that stuff with younger girls was a time when younger girls were dating older men. I mean, it was common. Mothers knew that their children had 23-year-old boyfriends. And now they're acting like they didn't know. That's a lie. So at 17, it was quite common for a young lady to have a boyfriend that was just out of high school, 19, 20, 22. They even had the 5-finger rule. Don't go over 5 fingers over your age, that type of stuff. And so then R. Kelly, everybody's coming forward like it was such a traumatic experience. Now, I know they got video of him peeing on a girl. That was in New York back in the early 90s. I mean, or what was that, the late 90s, mid 90s. I saw it when I went to New York. It was like R. Kelly, okay, wow. Who sat there and let him? Okay, he may have used his celebrity to lure, but where was the parents? Like, they just let her hang out with R. Kelly at night or in the studio unsupervised? All of this stuff, right? So we have a communal responsibility. No one can do what you don't let them do. And I'm not saying that you're going to be strong enough to say no. I'm not. I wasn't strong enough to say no. I just did. Shoot, I was 16 with a baby. I didn't have a good job. I was still in school. Somebody waved a carrot in front of my face, and I sure thought about it. I'm not going to pretend like, oh no, oh my gosh. I just thought about it, and I was like, okay, if I do this, this will be our way out. But then everybody will expect that, and I just don't want to be passed around. Yeah, that's what got in my head. So when you hear these stories, I think that these men, I don't see how possible it is for a man to go from being, if you really want to do something about it, go from being 17 to 18 and suddenly only want to be with an 18-year-old and up. You got adults in high school. If you really want to do something, graduate them the day they turn 18. Get them out of there. Why is this 18-year-old man now, all of a sudden overnight, in high school with my kid? Or 18-year-old woman in high school with my kid? Get them out of there. Once you turn 18, you must graduate out of here. Early graduation. No more classes needed. Or send you to a junior college at that point. Because you shouldn't be amongst a bunch of kids. Your girlfriend might have been your girlfriend since she was a freshman, you were a sophomore. You're 18 and she's 17. But you can't, that makes no sense to me. The law has to start somewhere, but you can't expect people to just flip all of a sudden and then throw them behind bars. Pay attention to the trends. All right. So this week's lineup. I got to look it up. It's I know I got B Cole. I know I got Boss Lady +2. Hold on. Let me look at my Calendly. I use Calendly because, well, number one is Black owned. Number two, it keeps me on track. People can just click, click, click and book with me. Let me see what I have. All right, so this Wednesday, I want you to check her out on social media right now. She is the beautiful Jamila C. Muhammad. She will be on. She is an actress. She's a model. She is amazing. She's an entrepreneur, and she's a youngin', beautiful Black queen. She will be on with us Wednesday morning, so that'll be 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then Boss Lady Plus 2 will be on with us Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then Thursday, we've got the great magician. He's an illusionist now. He is no longer just a magician. He's like blowing your mind. He'll be on at 7 p.m. on Thursday. And then our Chicago's very, and he's from Chicago. So is Boss Lady, my bad. But B. Cole, Chicago bred, okay? I love B. Cole. We worked together back in the day. We did a skit. It was so funny. But he'll be on at 7:30 Central Standard Time. And then Friday, we got the spinner, the spinning king, Spin Psycho, Spin Psycho, Spin Psycho. Jason L. Easterly, that's my buddy from high school. I had to reach out to him and have him on the show because it is important that we get our health together for this year. Also, Baca will be on talking about his endeavors with the community. I'm so excited. I know I always say that because I love doing this. Like, this is a platform where I am able to talk to you, and you. Okay? So even when I don't have on no makeup, this is me with no filter, man. It's like, it's rough. I woke up like this, okay? Braids. My part is so far apart. So I go to this older lady that braids my hair. No matter what I say to her, I get that big old part in the middle. I'm like, can you bring them closer? Yeah. And I still have this big old part in the middle, right? Look at that. My father even said something. He said, you got a wide part there. I didn't know he noticed. But yeah, Dad, I got a wide part. Look at that. Yeah, it looked like I don't have no hair. I do. But it's just not happening. All right, y'all. Make sure you tune in. If you have not seen the Katt Williams interview, make sure you tune in to Club Shay Shay. It is an interesting watch. It's about 2.5 hours long. Every bit of it, you'll be hanging on. And don't watch it with the perspective of we putting people on blast or he's putting people on blast. It's just education. He's like, I'm just here to tell the truth, and he does live in his truth, seemingly, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, I went from I can't stand Katt Williams to I done DM'd him. No, I'm just kidding. I would love to interview him if it's possible. But Katt Williams, you all right with me. I got a whole new respect for you, bruh. That integrity is big, okay? And shout out to Shay Shay. Shay Shay was trying to jump in, but he was like, let him talk, right? But support podcasters, support the pods. You watching keeps them fueled up. They invest lots and lots of time and money into this. And we need you guys to fuel us up, Go ahead and subscribe. You know what you got to do. Subscribe to the channel. Comment, like, share. Let me know what you think. Okay, this was a short one. Our Monday, or should I say our weekend recap. And I'm still on the dinner by 6, unless it's takeout. And you know what that means. Have your dinner ready to serve your family by 6 p.m., unless it's takeout. This way, everything else revolves around that. And you will be on schedule every single time. All right? I'm LaDonna Raeh from Chicago, and you will see me again on Wednesday. Don't forget to tune in. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see all the upcoming shows, and you can go ahead and subscribe so that you can be notified. There you go. I'll see you next time on the LaDonna Raeh Show. Subscribe right there. Yeah, subscribe. Thank you. Subscribe. Bye-bye for now. I want to go back to sleep.